Hello everyone, welcome back to the Art of Trading.net video here. I'm Trader Stewie with you. I wanted to do a video about just to discuss a couple of trades that we did this week here at the service. Two trades that worked out really nicely, and I got a lot of questions from guys in the chat room and also members on why I took this trade and how I managed to spot them, and why I decided to enter and why I decided to exit. So here we go. I figured, hey, why not do a video and help better explain this, visually. Okay, first of all, the first stock I want to talk about is ZAGG, Z-A-G-G. It's a stock that I watch regularly, simply because it's a momentum stock, So as many of you may know or might not know, I'm purely a momentum trader. I like to trade stocks, or markets, that exhibit, momentum, for me, I don't really care if a market is moving up or down. That to me is irrelevant. For me, as long as a market is moving in a one direction, that to me is all I care about. So for me, I could care less whether I'm shorting or going long, as long as I'm seeing action in one direction, clear, easy to spot action in one direction. So that to me is momentum and momentum trading. But anyway, so let's just get to it, guys. Okay, so ZAGG, ZAGG, the market's been going through a little bit of a rally phase here off the lows over the last week or so. So I've been focusing mostly on longs. So I try as a momentum trader, I try to go with the momentum of the market, and I'm mostly a short-term trader. So if a market is moving higher in the short term, I like to look for stocks that are also moving higher, and then I try to pinpoint good entries, for me, to capitalize on a market. For example, like even though the market's been moving higher lately, I see a lot of people trying to short as the market, just because people might think we're in a bear market. Who knows whether we're in a bear market or not? That to me is irrelevant. For me, the best thing to do is just to locate trades and look for the easiest trades. Which direction, which stocks are moving in the easiest way to capitalize on them. So right now, it's very hard to short. It's not easy. Just because the market's been bouncing, I find it much easier to go for longs. But anyway, let's just get to it quickly here. So basically, ZAGG, here we go. This is the pattern that I saw the stock, as you can see here, over the last few days, as the market has bottomed. ZAGG has seen some nice big long candles and closing higher. So you can see here, there's one here, there's another one here, and another one here. So you had three big long candles on very nice closes. So this to me is a bullish action. Especially look at the volume here, guys. It has been picking up as the stock has been going up here off lows. Volume has been picking up, which tells me that the stock is probably in the midst of forming a bottom. And as you can see here, how it came down over the last few months here, over the last few weeks, it's been coming down, and then all of a sudden you had a big 2, 3, 4 day rally here off the lows. Volume picked up. So to me, that was right away a sign. Hey, okay, that doesn't mean you have to buy it, as it's moving. That's not how I trade. You just because you see a big candle on big volume doesn't mean you have to chase it. Best thing to do is just to wait and wait and wait and wait until a setup appears. There always will be a setup. The only question is, are you willing to wait for that setup to come to you, or are you just gonna chase it? I never recommend chasing anything. Even as a momentum trader, you don't want to be chasing. You want to be entering trades with very well defined risk. You want to make sure that if you're going to be entering momentum trade, that you're entering with as little risk as possible, ideally. So basically, I kept the stock on the radar. I watched it for a few days, and then all of a sudden, as you can see here, it broke through the 20-day moving average right here, the red line right here. That's a 20. It broke through it. So to me, that was a very good sign that there's strength in this name. Okay, so now I just had to wait. So the next day we had this red candle, but look at this, guys. It was a red candle. It was an inside day because you had this big long candle here on big volume, and then you had a red small candle here within the range of the previous day. So that's an inside day. So, and on very low volume, look right here, very low volume. So that tells you the stock is kind of just taking a pause. It's taking a break. It's trying to digest this big run, and it's going to relax here for a couple of days. So then the next day you had a very similar action. You had another small candle within the range of the previous this candle here. It was so you had two candles within the range of this first candle right here. So you had two small candles, which tells you this. And look at the volume here, also even lower than the previous day. So this tells you the stock is just resting before it moves higher. So to me, this was the pattern that I saw here. And if you can see here, you can actually draw just almost like a little mini bull flag. So you can see here kind of a bull flag pattern. So as you can see here, and I'm the kind of guy, I like to look for round numbers. So for me, round numbers are very important. As you can see here, as ZAGG was digesting the gain, it held around this 12 area. So you can see how 12 here, it just kind of held and kind of lingered around it. And if you can see here, I'm going to zoom into the 5-minute chart. So this was the daily chart right here. So you can see here there's like a little mini bull flag, and I posted the setup to my subscribers, and I also posted it on Twitter too. So anybody who's been paying attention to the setups that I post on Twitter, you can see that ZAGG was one stock that I was watching and I discussed several times. And you can see here, so that was a daily. This is the 5-minute chart right now, guys, and you can see here, this was the day. This was the October 10th. So this was the day that where we saw. So this candle over here was the 10th. So this is what it looks like on the daily. You can see how it looked kind of like, sort of like a little hammer, like a little mini hammer, but it was within this candle right here, which tells you it's still consolidating. So it was an inside day also. So you can see here, 5-minute chart. This is what it looks like. So it gapped up, moved sideways, kind of meandering around, going nowhere, but it held 12. So for me, I really like this daily setup. So rather than wait for a breakout over 1250, you can see here how 1250 was the high on this candle right here. So I figured if it breaks over 1250, the stock could probably run and then tag 13. Now why is 13? 13 because that's where the 50-day moving average is. So look at this, guys. This is the blue line. That's the 50-day moving average, and it's trading around $13. So I figured if this is a breakout play over 1250, we got maybe 50 cents of this in this stock to take it to the 50-day moving average. But I did not want to wait because I figured, hey, you know what? The market is moving higher. We have momentum in the market. Why wait for a breakout? Why not anticipate a breakout and then allow the breakout traders to take us higher in this trade? So here's what I saw. This was the 12 area. So I remember I said 12. I love 12. I love numbers, round numbers, psychological round numbers as support and resistance. So for me, 12 was psychological resistance on this stock. So I wanted to buy near 12, as close to 12 as possible. So right away, I put an alert together. I sent it out to my subscribers. Long ZAGG at 12. We put a stop loss here, right under the low at 1150. So we longed it at 12. Stop loss at 1150. We risked 50 cents on this trade. You want to give a stock like ZAGG, a little bit of breathing room because it's a very volatile stock. And you can see here if you go to finviz.com. Here you go. This is finviz.com right here. Go here and type in ZAGG, and you can see here, guys. Check this out. It has short interest of 57%. So 57% of the float is short. Now this is a huge short position. There's a lot of for whatever reason, people are betting against this name. So you figure if you have a strong market, and if ZAGG looks like it's trying to put in a bottom on the daily, and you have 57% short interest, that tells you that once the stock starts to move, and then people who are going to be short in the stock, they're going to try to cover, and when they cover, the stock can really rip on the upside as people start to cover their shorts. So this was a perfect this is a perfect candidate of stocks that I like to trade. Stocks that have very, very high short interest. Because once the stock starts to break out higher, starts to move higher, all these people who are short, not all of them, but many of them will have to reconsider their position and start to cover. And then when they cover, that will cause the stock to pop even higher, faster. So that's what I liked about ZAGG. So we ended up buying it here at 12, stop at 11.50. You can see here, I always say, one of my favorite rules, one of my best rules, for trading is, the best trades are the ones that work right away. The one when you buy it and it immediately starts to produce, that tells you that, hey, you know what, you have a winner here, and this could be a big winner. In my experience, the trades that work the fastest, that work the quickest, as soon as you get in, within a minute or two, they start moving. That tells you that, hey, you know what, you got the direction right, and this one could be a big one. So I love trades that work right away. So you can see here, right away, it shot up to about 12.28. That alone right there, that was a nice, decent little gain. But I figured, hey, you know what, the market is strong. We can probably get more out of the thing. So. And as you can see here, it just kind of like, it was kind of like dead money for a while, just kind of moved sideways. Maybe people got bored. And you can see here, it kind of fell down below our entry, but, it just kind of spiked lower. But then I watched it, and I actually thought about removing it, taking it off, for, around, for a tiny loss around right here. But I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just see how it closes, And then right away, as soon as it dipped below 12, it came right back up above 12. So I knew right away that 12 was a key number, and that to me it gave me confidence in holding the stock overnight, because I realized it fell below 12, but then it quickly recaptured 12. So that told me that somebody out there wanted the stock over 12. So to me, that was a good sign that there was demand in this name. So as you can see here, this was the candle where it closed at right here. The next day, here's what happened the next day. Boom! Right from the open, the stock immediately gapped up and then started to run. So right away, that's when I knew that the stock had a very, very good chance of winning. So people in the chat room, would ask me, "Hey, should we sell now? It's at 12.50." And I was like, you know what? Let's just wait a little bit. Let's just wait a little bit. Let's just keep raising stops. So the next thing we did was raise our stop to 12. So now, once you see the stock moving in a direction like that, right away, you immediately want to raise your stop and then protect your gains. Okay, at least protect your investment by moving, your stop to break even. So you enter the 12, the stock starts to work right away in your direction here the next day. So you put a stop loss at 12. Hey, you get stopped out at 12, no big deal. It was a good trade no matter what, and so be it. But thankfully it immediately started to work, and once it started breaking up over 12.50, remember what I told you guys here? 12.50 was the resistance right here. Look at this, on this candle, 12.50 was resistance. So a breakout over 12.50, and I was pretty certain that 13 was going to be the next stop, because there was literally, there was no other resistance here until we got to 13. So you can see here 13, that was the next stop right here. There was a round number. You can see here there's some congestion here around 13 on the daily chart. You had the 50-day moving average around 13 area. So that was a perfect target for this trade. So back to the 5-minute chart, guys. You can see here it started to move right away. And I'm the kind of, I don't like to be greedy. When I see a position working fast in my favor, especially right now, we are in a very, very weird, very strange, tricky market. When you have a stock that moves 6%, in your favor, in less than 24 hours, there's no need to be greedy. Just start, book your gains, So right away, we started selling shares here around that 1270, 1280 area. So this was where we got out. I wasn't going to stick around till 13. I was like, hey, you know what? We might not see 13. Why be greedy? We'll get out here on 1270, 1280, and we start selling it as we start seeing the stock, start to spike up here. And you can see, and for this trade, we booked about 6.5%, depending on your entry and your exit, but most subscribers were able to get out with about a 6% gain, in less than 24 hours, for a very cool trade, a very, very low stress trade. I like to, I love these low stress trades, the ones that work right away, and even when they go against you, they quickly rectify themselves and then move back in the favored direction. and then the next day you wake up the next day and the stock gaps up and starts to run in your favor. These are very, very low stress trades, and these are the kind of trades I really, really love to go for. So anyway, guys, so this was the ZAGG trade. I really hope this video helps, and learn how to spot these momentum stocks that are highly shorted, that have very, very high short interest. These are the perfect plays when the market is starting to move higher. Spot the volume, spot like the bottoming formation. Look at this. I mean, this is a perfect bottoming formation right here. Broke out on good volume, ran up for a few days, consolidated sideways here. We anticipated a breakout, which worked nicely in our favor. We got in on the round number 12, and then we had a break. We anticipated a breakout over 1250, targeted to 13. We're able to get out with a nice gain and a nice trade. So I hope this video helps, and I'll do one more here in a few minutes. Talk about TSL, another trade that we did, which had a very, very similar principle. All right, guys. Good luck tomorrow. Take care. Bye.